I'm trying something I've never done before. For the past few years since I took my art professionally, I've pretty much stuck to the same kind of style. Lots of warm tones, simple background, simple compositions. I've gotten pretty comfortable with this and haven't experimented too much. But this year, I wanted to try something completely new, telling a story through art in a way I haven't done before. This particular illustration is the first of many that I have planned for this year. If you followed my work for any length of time, you'll know that my favorite subject to paint is mamas and their babies. To me, there's nothing more beautiful, and whenever I paint that subject, I feel so happy, so blessed, so inspired. So that is something I wanted to take to the next level. And I really wanted to do that by not just capturing the beauty of motherhood, but also capturing elements of different people's cultures, their heritage, and their story. And with that, I also wanted to change the way I painted. I noticed that sometimes when I make a picture, I tend to rush through. I don't worry too much about background details. I focus mostly on the main subject. I wanted to really slow down and really focus on every intricate detail. I also wanted to remove any form of deadline on these paintings, just to slow down, take however much time I need, and put in my heart and soul into every single detail. This particular painting that you are seeing come together is the very first one of this collection. This one is going to be a little bit smaller as it was more of an experimental piece, but the composition and the concept is going to be about the same for all the other paintings. And so for the first painting, I wanted to base it off where my own people come from. This painting is based off of the beautiful elements of the Russian culture. I wanted to really explore what makes Russia unique. What are some of the beautiful things about the people, the traditions, the culture? And I wanted to put that all into one painting. One of the main focal points I wanted was the cathedral. I think this particular cathedral is one of the most beautiful and unique creations in this world. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think that the cathedral looked like a building with ice cream cones all over the top of it. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I like it so much. Who knows? Aside from my main subject's traditional dress, I also wanted to incorporate some of the Russian folk art on the sides, just to kind of highlight the whimsical style that I see a lot on their cups and their spoons and their paintings and things like that. For the top portion of the painting, my husband gave me the great idea of putting the flag with the coat of arms on top. This was the flag design before communism took over Russia, and it represented the triumph of good versus evil. In the center, you have a picture of St. George slaying the dragon to represent that. And I thought that was just a very interesting detail. Though I am not Orthodox myself, as a Christian, I did want to paint the Orthodox cross. When learning about how communism affected Christianity in Russia, I saw that a lot of the martyrs and a lot of the people that died for their faith were from the Orthodox faith. They refused to bend their knee to communism and refused to deny their God. Since it was Russia, I had to include these little matryoshki, or Russian nesting dolls. I think they represent motherhood and Russia very, very well. If you're not too familiar with them, they're pretty much these dolls that you can open up, and there's like a smaller doll inside, and you keep opening the dolls, and it pretty much goes down to a doll that is like barely the size of your pinky fingernail, sometimes even smaller. I love how these dolls just kind of capture how we came from a person that came from another person that came from another person. It's just like a really sweet and cute way to remember like the generations, in my opinion. Now, food is a very important part of every culture, and I had to incorporate the Russian chaynik, the teapot, and bubliki, which are like little Russian cookies that are strung on a string. I also added some ikra, which is like fish eggs, and varenya, which is jam. And of course, as with every culture, we have the bread. I have a feeling that I'll be painting bread in almost every painting that I'm going to be doing in this collection. I also wanted to include a little balalaika and a Russian princess, just because she's so cute and I love the balalaika. If you don't know what it sounds like, you can YouTube a video. Yes, you're in for a treat, in my opinion. This bottom painting was also my husband's idea. It's a small little Russian village by the railroad. I had so much fun painting all the little roofs and the haystacks, and if you look closely, there's a few people hidden inside who were just doing everyday life things. One cannot paint a painting representing Russia without including the bear, and I decided to put a mama bear because that is the ultimate theme. My favorite part about these bears are their rosy little cheeks. I think it makes them look so cute. Another major element of this painting is the ballet, of course. I listened to Tchaikovsky as I painted this, so I think it helped me get into the mood. On one of the paintings, I also wanted to incorporate the cold Russian winters. So this is like a scene, I imagine, in Siberia with the moon shining. We have another musical element here with the accordion. I think this is a very common Eastern European instrument. I thought it complemented the balalaika scene across from it very well. I added a few finishing touches, and here is the final painting. Thank you so much for hearing a bit of the story behind this painting, and I hope you stick around for the next one. Leave a comment below if you have a guess for which country I will be painting next. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day.